Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Noelle, aka Makeup Esquire. And sorry for the technical difficulties. We are live. Hopefully everybody can find their way back on here. I don't know what was going on there. Sorry for the late start. Hopefully y'all start to trickle in as I am just doing a light layer of this Dior foundation. Thank you so much for coming back and joining me. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm just going in with a light layer of this Dior foundation stick. I didn't do any other primer other than the CL primer. And I do have some SPF on just because I'm trying to keep it super light. Since I'm going to say it one more time just because it's a new video, but I did just get a Cool Peel CO2 laser on Friday, just a couple days ago. So this is the first time I'm applying makeup on since. But today I'm very excited to be showcasing the new Bisyodo Pine Squirrel brushes that came in the mail a couple days ago. These are only to be used with powders, so that's why I'm going to do my creams first and then get right into it and do a full face with these babies. Hey Brittany, thanks so much for joining. Hopefully everyone makes their way back in. I don't know what was going on. I was having some technical difficulties, so I just had to restart this on my phone. Because I guess y'all were seeing me, but I wasn't seeing you for some reason. I think my YouTube channel is kind of getting like confused because I'm actively trying to upload a video right now to my channel and be live at the same time. So I don't know if it's like too much for the YouTube to handle, but here we are. Thanks for bearing with me. Hey Keisha, the chat looks different now. Well, now y'all are on my phone as opposed to the camera. So maybe that's why. How is it different? That's interesting. I know this will be uploading in a vertical format, but oh well. It's just, it is what it is right now. So, yeah. Hey Gabby, how are you? All right, so I just went in with like a super light layer of my Dior foundation stick. And if you're curious, I am in the shade 3N. I do have a medium neutral olive undertone, if your shade pins with me. And I have combo to oily skin that is right now recovering from a CO2 Cool Peel laser. So it feels sensitive and it feels kind of like gritty, like sandpaper. As you could tell, I got the procedure done on my neck as well. So you can see that it kind of looks like burn marks. Hey everyone, thanks for joining. Happy Sunday. If you're new to my channel, I really hope you like this video and subscribe. I go Sunday and I do a get ready with me for church at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here in sunny Southern California. And I'm very excited for today's live to showcase these new Bisyodo brushes. Gorgeous, right? So I'm just trying to get my cream products on real quick so that I can get into using my powder products with the new brushes. Hey Kieran, thanks for coming back, y'all. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'll figure out what's going on by my next week's Sunday live. Will be back on my camera, so I know this isn't the most ideal quality, and thank you if you're watching on Instagram as well. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much if you're watching the replay. Holler, leave me a comment if you're watching on the replay. I'm curious to know who else besides Keisha in here got the Bisyodo release or any of these babies. It's okay, Kieran. No worries. It's funny. You know, like when you're trying to leave a comment, but like you're typing too fast and then you keep making a typo. It's funny. Hi everyone. Hey Johnny. Hey Susan. Hey Keisha. Hey Brittany. Hey Carlin. It's good to see you all. Love seeing all your beautiful faces. Susan, where are you from? Susan's from Texas. She's being hit on. Okay. So there's that. Let's do a little bit of powder. Yeah, y'all have to stay, you're gonna have to stay tuned for my YouTube video that is going up today. It's a good one, y'all. So it's gonna be worth this video not being filmed on my camera. You are, I think, going to really enjoy it. And just as like a preview, like a sneak peek of it, I went, okay, so this is the first, I'm gonna use the little pointy Bisyodo brush with my Makeup by Mario powder here to set my T-zone. Usually I go in with like a cotton poof or like a triangle poof for this step, but oh my gosh, y'all, these bristles are so soft. Like, mind you, my skin is like really sensitive right now too. I realized I just basically like skipped over concealer. I didn't even really put concealer on because I was so excited to use that brush. Let me just put a little bit of this. This is the House Labs concealer. It has a little bit of a peachy undertone. And I think it has like skin loving ingredients in it because it has like arnica or something. So I think it'll be okay to use right now with my skin being the state that it's in. But yeah, I'm not gonna like really load up the cream products right now. We're just gonna do kind of like a simple makeup look. For today's live, I'm pretty much focusing on showcasing the brushes, the Bisyodo brushes more than anything. I hope everybody's having a lovely Sunday so far. It's a beautiful day here in Southern California. Holler if you're in California, like me and Johnny Tamayo. I'm filming on both platforms by using different devices. I have my iPad on here for Instagram and then my phone for YouTube. So, yeah, nothing fancy. Okay, so I'm setting my under eyes with the Bisyodo like tapered flame brush. Y'all, it's so soft. These pine squirrel bristles are misleading because usually when we hear pine, we tend to think that it's not as soft as Canadian. But I'm telling you that this is probably the softest pine or Canadian squirrel that I have in my collection. It's not really comparable with anything that I have. Hopefully you can see the movement of these bristles on my skin. You see that? They're so soft. Hey Stacy, how are you? Hey Johnny. People are saying hi to Johnny. I love how everybody's friends here. Right, Gabby? Yeah, she says she loves the coloring on the pine squirrel brushes. So do I. This like golden hue, isn't it so beautiful? What I also like about Canadian squirrel and this pine squirrel is that although it doesn't lack in softness, it still feels a little bit more resilient than like regular blue squirrel, if you will. Like for instance, this Hakuhodo, this is the S111. I don't know. It's like fluffier and wispier. Hopefully you can tell by me just like moving my fingers along. But this Bisyodo Pine Squirrel is something else. It's really gorgeous. So I highly recommend picking you up at least one from the collection since supposedly there was only about 100 of each made. So once they're gone, I'm assuming they're just, well, we all know once they're gone because they even went so far out of their way to put LMD on the barrels, which supposedly stands for limited. So, they really want us to know that they're limited. Oh, you're in San Diego. Interesting. Thanks for sharing. I used to live in San Diego that's where I went to law school. What part of San Diego? Are you from San Diego? Kieran's from Canada, representing. Where in Canada are these squirrels from? So Bisyodo says that they are pine squirrel. I read somewhere that they might come from North America, that they might be North American Canadian squirrel or pine squirrel, but we don't really know. That's one of the things that's unfortunate when it comes to these handmade natural hair makeup brushes, is that like sometimes where they come from and the hair type is lost in translation. And so I've been reading other people's posts in the food aid community and like, I don't know, just comparing what Bisyodo has said about them and what other retailers that sell these have said about them. And it's a little bit of a mystery. People are even referring to these bristles as mystery hair because we're not quite sure, to be honest. So yeah. Oh, it was a joke. That's funny. I should have known. But I mean, it was still kind of a good question if anybody's wondering. The brushes are stunning, right, Keisha? Keisha also bought the brushes. If y'all aren't following New to Food Day, that's her Instagram channel, and she just posted some lovely comparison photos that she has with other Canadian squirrel brushes in her collection and other pine squirrel. So I highly recommend checking out her post, because I didn't pull out my other brushes right now to compare them. I just have these in front of me because I just didn't want this live to go on and on. As it is, we got like a little bit of a late start, so I'm gonna be heading to church in a little bit, so I'm just doing kind of like a natural-ish makeup look. I'm already like just by habit grabbing this one because it's in front of me, but I realize I'm supposed to be using the new one. Oh, 10 minutes from TJ. Nice. I had an internship in Costa Mesa. That was like right there by the border. Y'all, this feels so lovely on the skin. You won't be disappointed. It's kind of misleading that they're calling this pine squirrel because we all tend to think that pine squirrel is rougher than Canadian, but it's really unlike any other squirrel that we've seen on the market. Gorgeous, gorgeous golden hue, lovely bristles. I go to Catholic church, Roman Catholic. I love nothing but cakes. They're my favorite cakes, probably. Yeah. The wallet abuser enabler. That's funny. Yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry, not sorry. All right, let's see. I didn't really plan out an eyeshadow palette to use today, y'all, but I have some in front of me that maybe we can use. Oh, you know which eyeshadow palette I was thinking about playing with today? The Byredo Mineralscapes palette. That's such a beautiful palette, but how about we just use this one? Because I'm just gonna do like a simple look today. So this is the YSL one. This is the Couture Color Clutch. This is the 10 color eye palette. And yeah, what number is the one that you use to set? Oh, this guy here, you know what? I don't have the numbers memorized off the top of my head right now because they're kind of like coded. But if y'all have any questions about any of these particular brushes and what names they are, and Keisha, feel free to chime in if you have the names in front of you. No pressure though. I will certainly get back to you and let you know the exact brush number. So please remind me after I post this video. You can leave me a comment. Oh, Keisha said that the highlight brush is the L-H01. Thank you, Keisha. I appreciate that. I know you always got my back. You can hook me up with nothing but cakes. Ooh, I love that. Y'all, oh my gosh, one of the eyeshadows just literally broke on me. Look at that. I don't even want to show you because it's going to... I swear this was like perfect when I held this up for you like a minute ago. Ah! Oh, that's such a bummer that that broke. Darn it. Okay, let me see if I can salvage it. That is so sad. That just broke my heart. I haven't even really like used this eyeshadow palette either. So it's like brand new. Oh well. I know, eyeshadow down. Yikes. Maybe I can just push it back in with some alcohol. That's a trick if y'all didn't know, to use some 99% alcohol, and then you can kind of just like make it into like a slushy and then push it back in there. Hopefully that'll work. If not, maybe I can exchange it. I know Nordstrom has great customer service, and that's where I got it from. So, and I'm like extremely careful with my palettes, y'all. So this has like it's just been sitting in a drawer. I haven't even been like, I've never like traveled with it or anything. Like I said, I've hardly even used it. Okay, so let's go into so these are the 3 eye brushes. So I think I'm gonna do my blush and my highlighter at the end, just so that it can match with the eye look. But these are the 3 eye brushes in the set. So it came with, I would say, like 3 face brushes. This one right here is kind of like in between a face brush and an eye brush. Do you see that? There it is compared to the highlight brush I just used. You can use this little guy here as like a very small face brush for detail work, or you could even use it as a one and done all over the eye look. So I like how versatile this one is. You see how you can do like a one and done eyeshadow look with it, but you can even use it for like precision powder contour. You could use this one for highlight. You can use this one for targeted setting powder even. So I kind of like the shape of this one. Yeah, can you replace it? I know. I think I'm gonna try to replace it because this one's like, I got it on sale, but still it was like $100. So we'll see. I'm not sure if it's limited edition or if like if it's still available. I'll have to check after this live. But I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of a Chantecaille eyeshadow base. This is the Chantecaille Next Generation Eye Base. So I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of that, and just gonna use the other side of this IT Cosmetics synthetic brush here to just even out that eyeshadow base. Yeah, my pleasure, no problem. All right, so I'm gonna go in with a larger eyeshadow brush here. Being very careful not to knock out that broken shadow. I'm gonna go into this like light brown shade. And I'm just going to use that as a crease shade here. Just like so. The in-between brush right here is the L-ES04. Thank you so much, Keisha. I appreciate that. So if anybody's interested in this one, the nice thing about these is that they are being sold individually. So you can certainly pick and choose. And that's why I wanted to get up on here and showcase these for you today, in case you're still in the market and you're considering picking up maybe like 1 or 2. So hopefully this is helpful to you. I'm going to try to use them all during this live. So far, this is not disappointing. Look at how these bristles are moving. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit so you can really see. Feels so soft. Just like Keisha said in the description of her post today, they feel like wispy and soft, elasticy, springy, but like in a good way. It's almost like hard to describe. The powder brush is the L-P01 and the cheek brush is the L-C01. Thank you. Yeah, as I went and unboxed these in my earlier video, I had the names on the respective boxes. But now that I have the boxes set aside, I just didn't memorize them. And they're unfortunately not engraved on the handle. So I will say that that's unfortunate, because Bisyodo did do that in their grand series for us with the ebony wood handles. Maybe ebony wood is more suitable for, you know, engraving like that because it's a harder wood. I don't know, but this African rosewood seems like it could be engraved just fine given the fact that they do still engrave it. So I guess that's another thing that I would personally prefer, especially since these names are like code and it's not like common sense, right? I guess they do kind of make a little bit of sense. So the in-between brush being the LES04, okay, that one doesn't make sense to me, but I'm trying to make sense of like the other coding. So the large and then P maybe stands for powder. 01, it's the first like large one and really the only large powder brush. And then the L dash, and I don't know why they're labeled L, but the L-C, C probably stands for cheek. So 01 because it's like the first cheek brush and probably the only cheek brush other than this highlight brush, but this is probably why the highlight brush is let me see, didn't have like an H in it. I'm already forgetting. I'm scrolling up to refer to the names. The highlight brush is the L-H01. Okay, so we can remember that this one has an H for highlight. The eye brushes are the L-ES. Okay, the in-between brush is the L-ES04. The E doesn't really make sense to me, but we'll just see if hopefully I can remember. And I don't know, S04, so maybe, okay, it's the fourth one. Maybe that's how we can remember it. So it's like in order of large to small, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So L-ES04. Then the eye brushes are, the round one is, so this is the round one. The round one is the L-ES01. Okay, ES01. So I guess it's restarting, right? Number 1, ES04, but then it goes back to the ES01. And then the small paddle, which is this one right here, is the L-ES02. And then the L-ES03 for the medium paddle. Okay, thank you for that, Keisha. Hopefully we can now remember that. Yeah, okay, cool. Oh, ES for eyeshadow. Okay, thank you. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so we'll just have to remember that it's like L-ES 04, eyeshadow 04, because it's, and I guess the way to remember that is that it's like an in-between, so it continues on from the face, and then the ES 01, 02, 03. Cool. All right, let's keep it moving. So I'm going to now go into the small paddle, and I'm going into a slightly deeper brown shade here in the palette. Love your makeup. Thank you so much, Tanae. Oh, the L is for limited series. Okay, thank you. I should have done my homework before this, like Keisha. Thank you, Keisha. I was uploading earlier today. That's why I kind of got behind some Hakuhodo G series comparisons for y'all, because I've been getting questions on those, and I'm always happy to showcase those for you whether you DM me or leave me a comment on any of my videos on here. I will do my best to try to get back to you. I'm such a nerd when it comes to these brushes, and I like seeing informative comparisons online, so I like to be of service however I can, since I know a lot of y'all are shopping ahead of the upcoming June price increase that we expect from Hakuhodo. Yeah, it does kind of make sense now that we kind of uncoded it, right? Oh, hi, Sky. So cute. I was like wondering where the 3 was coming from. Sky is more than welcome to leave her commentary as well. We love to hear it. No age requirements here. Okay, yeah, Keisha. Okay, that makes sense. If you just kind of really think hard on it, sometimes you can just figure it out. But like, this is why I became a lawyer rather than pursuing any other careers, because we lawyers just notoriously are bad at math and numbers. So code and numbers just don't always like stick in my head as easily as words do. So hadn't given them enough thought, apparently. All right, so they are blending out that eyeshadow beautifully. Now I want to go into that darker shade, the broken one, and do like more precision work. I love this little mini kind of smudgy shaped brush. So I'm just going in with a smaller brush, the darker the eyeshadow gets. It's kind of what I'm doing here. And that's a good way to go about doing your eyeshadow, is use a larger brush the closer to your skin color that shade is. And then the darker the shade, the smaller the brush. If you're kind of intimidated by darker shades, just go in with like a smaller brush like this, which is why I do enjoy these little smaller precision brushes. So you can kind of pack the color on and then blend the eyeshadow out nicely, just like so. I'm gonna bring that into the inner corner as well in the crease. Oh, interesting, Keisha. Okay, somebody told me that it stood for limited. Somebody left a comment on, I think it was Lisa on my YouTube video, if I'm not mistaken. I can't recall. That confirmed my suspicion that it stood for limited, but that's a good point, that the series is called Matsurisu, so it's possible that the M stands for that, like limited Matsuri, but then again, we don't really know what the D is. I love you too, Jamie. Thank you for being here. You're always so sweet. I appreciate you. Yeah, no, I know. It's true, because even if they did stand for limited, that's not really in my head logical. I don't know, like, it's kind of my pet peeve when people try to like make acronyms that don't make sense. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I can't even think of like an example, but I see it done all the time and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like to take, and it doesn't even like go by like syllable, you know? It's just like they take a random letter from like the middle of the word and try to like make an acronym out of it. Hey girl. Hopefully the lighting is okay. Oh, thank you, Jamie. You're so sweet. Of course. It's my pleasure. I was just talking about how I was enjoying doing these comparisons for y'all. So feel free to ask me to compare any others for you. I'm happy to. Your friend's birthday is today. Happy birthday to your friend. Are you celebrating? All right, my eyebrows are kind of uneven, it looks like. Hi, Mom. All right, so let's see. Now I'm gonna go in with a small paddle one again. Let me see if I remember the LESO. Shoot, now I'm forgetting what order. This was the ES04. This was the 01, 02, I think. I'm gonna refer back. Small paddle, LESO2, yes. And then I'm going to go into one of these little sparkly shades in this palette. I'm using this YSL palette that literally on camera, this brown eyeshadow just broke on me. This is the Couture Clutch. The 10 color. I can't even, I'm like nervous to flip it around, but yeah, it's the Couture Clutch. They start small and then go up in size and number. Okay, thank you. Okay, I kind of want to go in with this like sparkly pink one. See how this baby applies a shimmer shade. Shall we put it to a test? I don't know how much these are going to shine with shimmers, y'all. That's what it looks like. All right, I'm going to tilt my head. Hey, Julie. And see how this applies shimmer. On first impressions, I don't know if maybe it's just this particular shimmer shade, but it's not shining with this like shimmer shade. Like it's not doing like a particularly outstanding job of grabbing the particles. I have to continue to layer it. And I'm kind of comparing this to the way like my G series mix of goat and squirrel bristles grab them, or like how Kolinsky grabs the shimmer. It's not like laying the shimmer down in the same way or picking it up in the same way, but it's definitely like still working. So you can still do the job. And this one's probably the most appropriate one to do this step for. Oh, Jamie, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. You're so positive and uplifting. You're tempting me with these beautiful Bisyodo brushes. You don't like the ferrule. Yeah, we were just talking about how we just don't. Yeah, I personally don't like how the ferrule is crimped, and I don't like the LMD letters on them. But the hair is truly special. I just, yeah, if you're thinking, like, I just think that they're better with matte powders than with sparkly shades like this, but they can get kind of gunky too, like pretty quickly. Like you're gonna want to have a little like cloth next to you to wipe these off, especially if you have a tacky base. Just like squirrel hair does, right? And that's why typically I tend to gravitate more towards like the G series that's mixed with goat and squirrel. Just because like if you're using these brushes on any type of like if your base has any moisture to it at all, they can just start to get gunky just because they're so fine and wispy. So, but the good thing is that like they wipe off really well. So I'm just wiping them off right now on a microfiber cloth, and then they just seem to kind of like bounce right back. So You can kind of tell how springy the hair is. But still so soft. I wish I could hug you too. Thank you so much to everyone for being here. I really hope that you have liked the live to try to get it out there and share with anybody who you think might be interested in watching. I don't know if I ever finished what I was saying about the YouTube video that I have uploading right now, but I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek into that. That's why I prefer using goat for my eyeshadow and usually Squirrel for powders. Yeah, right, Julie? Like, I agree. I have combo to oily skin, so I tend to gravitate more toward goat and Squirrel mix personally too. Thank you so much, Tanae. You're right, Keisha. Yeah, limited is typically abbreviated LTD. That's a good example of what I mean by like some abbreviations not making sense to me, like LTD, limited. But it's still abbreviated LTD for some reason, right? So it wouldn't make sense for it to be abbreviated LMD, right? Yeah, that makes sense. But you know, with these Japanese brush makers, I sometimes tend to think that like some things just get lost in translation because they you know, these brushes are made in Japan and maybe they're just like not very familiar with the English language. And so maybe they just come up with like their own acronyms. What do you think? Maybe that's possible, you know? Who knows? Bisyodo, if you're watching, please respond. But yeah, so you can see the sparkle. It did the job, but it was just a little bit more of a struggle than, like, if you saw my last live, I went in with this guy right here, the G004A, which is a mix of goat and Squirrel, and it did a much better job of packing on eyeshadow than this one just did right now. So yeah, with food measurements, yeah, I know, right? Some things just don't make sense. All right, so that's how it's looking for now. Let's see. I used this. Okay, now I've used all 3 of the eye brushes. Let's do a little bit of, I'm gonna just use this little tiny one, the L-ES01 for the lower lash line. It's great for this. These bristles aren't very firm, so they definitely like move, you know, the way that you, like the direction that you are going. They don't really give a lot of resistance, if you will. I hope that's making sense. Now I'm gonna wipe this one off and do like an inner corner highlight. So I'm gonna go in with this shade here in the YSL eyeshadow and see how this applies in the inner corner. It's pretty. Yeah, it's just applying shimmers with these bristles are just, I don't think where they shine. They can do it, but it's giving like, I don't know, maybe it's the eyeshadows, but it's giving like a very like soft and ethereal look. And maybe that's what you want, you know? If you don't want like a lot of impact, maybe these bristles are gonna be perfect for you when you want like the shimmer to be kind of toned down. Mind you, my makeup is not looking as, it's like, I'm like, something's off, and it's because of my skin right now, y'all. So I have to keep reminding myself that like, you can just see the, like, the scabs popping through. So if you see like some darkness right here, she really went in with a laser on the melasma areas. So that's why it's like looking dark right here, because that's where I have melasma. But things aren't blending out very well on my skin right now because it's just gritty. Things are just not really like applying very well. So I don't know how it's translating on camera, but to me, I can certainly tell. It just is what it is during the healing process. I'm just grateful that I'm able to put on some sort of like a little bit of makeup on, you know, and then by tomorrow I'm back to work. So I'll be able to do a full face kind of, I'll do like a lighter makeup look, but still like as I'm healing, I'll be able to more comfortably, I think, wear more and more makeup. Okay. Now let's do blush, highlight, lips, and then be done. So since this is kind of like a warmer tone lid, it's like coral. I love the looks and the shimmer. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to go in with the YSL Make Me Blush, and I'm going to use the cheek brush. So this is like the perfect like cheek brush size. I'm going to go in with my YSL. I guess it's a YSL day today. That grabbed powder really well because I like barely tapped it right here on this cheek and it applied a good amount of it. So like Keisha mentioned, if y'all are familiar with the Kiwami Canadian squirrel hair, when Keisha compared them, she noticed that these bristles are more textured than the Kiwami Canadian squirrel. So it's just different hair than what we've seen previously. That's why it's like mystery hair. It's really unique. So soft though. Oh my gosh, y'all. The sensation. It's hard to even like put into words how soft. It just is. It's gliding across my skin as sensitive as it is with zero discomfort. Just effortlessly blending out that powder in a very airy way. You didn't say that, Keisha? I could have sworn that I read that in your post, that the Kiwami's bristles were more textured, or if these were more textured. That wasn't in your post? I'm sorry. Did I get it mixed up? Please clarify. The Bisyodo eye brushes are more airy than our Hakuhodo than the G004. Yeah, A. So I understand why you would have to work more with the same. Right, that is true. That is a good point. So if you're comparing them like this, the G004A is not as airy. So it is just like bundled differently. I guess it's like kind of a poor comparison because of that. I was going to compare it to, this is the new brush that was just added to the Z series. So yeah, it does make sense that just because these bristles, like the way that they're bundled are a lot more like flattened and condensed, that also adds to the reason why it's not applying shimmer in the same way. That's true. Very true. Good point. Yeah, you're right, Kat. That's a good point. Abbreviations are part of each country's language and slang. So even if there is an abbreviation, we know for a word it may be different in another country. So true. The Grand Series, yeah, the Grand Series is Blue Squirrel. Thank you so much for that, Jamie. If you asked me if I was related to the Kardashians, I'm not related to the Kardashians, but I'm very flattered. It's not the first time I've gotten that. Thank you so much, Karen. I'll grab a Grand Series brush for you. Right here. So since we have some questions comparing the Bisyodo Grand Series, it's completely different than the Grand Series because the Grand Series is all Squirrel. Blue Squirrel, I believe. So this is what I mean by I appreciate how they were able to put the engraving of the number on the brush itself. So to compare more apples to apples, these are the two larger ones. So this Grand Series is a GF01. There you go. See how this pine squirrel fluffs out a lot more? And then there's a smaller flame in the Grand Series. This one's the larger one. This is the GP01. This is just the first one I grabbed, just to give you kind of an idea. This is it compared to the G103. Pretty. And then this one is more comparable to the one I just used on my cheeks for blush. Yeah, the Z series is all Squirrel. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. And then the little small eye brush in comparison to its counterpart here looks like that. This is the GES01 in the Grand. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate you. So I hope that that helps. It's just that they feel different. They just feel different. Oh, that's right. Okay, it was the Takeda that you mentioned had a different texture. Yes. I was prepping for this video and I was like reading through your post as I was like about to go live. So I read it quickly. My apologies. Thank you for clarifying. The Takeda and one of my QLG yellow pine squirrel brushes have more texture. Difference in color and feel between these and the Chikuhodo Kiwami. Yeah. So they're different, right? Keisha pulled out all her comparable brushes, which is why I thought that that post was very interesting. So go check it out if you're wondering how these bristles compare to others. And then we'll just do a highlight. Y'all, I haven't been able to put down my Gucci highlighters lately. And actually this will be a good experiment right now because this Gucci highlight formula is a cream to powder formula. So we'll see how these brushes do with the cream to powder. I know that these bristles are said to only be used with powders, but I'm gonna, I think it'll be okay to use with a cream to powder formula. I'll be y'all's guinea pig. So you could use either of these two brushes for highlighter, y'all. I think this one is more so thought to be the highlighter brush out of all of them. I like to just be very precise and particular when it comes to my highlighter, so I can certainly see myself using this smaller one for highlighter, but just for the purposes of probably what other people, the type of makeup application that I see most other people use. And the reason I like to be so precise with my highlighter is because I have to work around melasma and be strategic around my acne scars and my textured skin. So that's why I don't like to just like, you know, mindlessly add highlighter everywhere. Yeah, this is giving like a very ethereal application of highlighter. It's just these bristles are so wispy on the ends. So it's kind of like that's the effect that they give. You see that, y'all? I hope that you see a difference. Hey, Cheyenne, welcome. Thank you so much for complimenting my nails. I know, right? I know, Keisha. I know how it feels when you're trying to describe things and like you could literally write a novel. My nail polish is Mooncat. 9 times out of 10, I am wearing Mooncat nail polish because it's my favorite nail polish brand. So it's doing an okay job picking up this cream to powder highlighter by Gucci. It would probably do an even better job of picking up regular powder highlighter. I'm kind of curious now. So I'm gonna see how it picks up a baked gelée. Let's do one of my Dior highlighters. These are baked gelées. I have a feeling that these are going to struggle a little bit with baked gelées because they're just so soft and wispy, okay? So I'm gonna wipe this brush off. Have I tried the Prada highlighter? I have not, thanks for asking, but I've been seeing everybody online get theirs and talk about it, and I'm tempted. Even though I don't need another highlighter in my collection, but that formula looks glorious. So it can apply it. It is applying it. Let's do this one, the smaller one. Yeah, you're gonna get kind of like an airy application because of the bristles just being so airy and soft. Unlike goat hair, where you're gonna get like a lot more application at once, or even goat and squirrel mix. But you see how it like dispersed it really well, and it's kind of harder to blend things out on my skin right now too because of the texture of my skin currently. There's just a ton of tiny little scabs where it was lasered. So the fact that it's like looking this good, I think I can attribute to the, definitely to the brushes. Yeah. Keisha said, you'll probably pick up more product with the LES04 since it's more compact. That's true. You do. So if you want like a higher concentration of the highlight, then go in with the LES04. So that's how the bristles are looking, even though, yeah, so see how like my skin wasn't like fully completely like dry, like there's still like a little bit of a glow coming from within just because I didn't like powder the heck out of my face. So those are kind of how the bristles are looking. That's what I mean by like they tend to get a little bit gunky if you have any moisture on your face because of just how wispy and airy the bristles are. But what's nice about them is that as long as you just have like a microfiber cloth that you're wiping off prior to each like use, they kind of just go right back to how they were. So they easily clean off product, which is a good indication as to how they have the ability to pick up and put down and then not keep like a lot in the bristles itself. They kind of, yeah, maybe it's like the porosity of the hairs, but yeah. I want to see how that large brush does with Guerlain Meteorites, shall we? I'm from Southern California. Welcome, Cheyenne. We have such a loving, positive community here, so I hope you join. Kat is our moderator, although everybody's, for the most part, been behaving today. We haven't needed a lot of moderation, thankfully. Kat, how was Disneyland? I know you went to Disneyland yesterday. It's like you just want to keep applying powder just because of how nice these bristles feel, y'all. They really feel so nice on the skin. Look at how they're moving, gliding across the skin. Like Yasmin, my friend that also loves Fude, I think she's described the way that they move kind of like a centipede. You see that? It's like hardly any resistance because of just how soft and airy and plush they feel. It was hot, but amazing. I'm glad you had fun. Oh, you know, I want to use a different color for my lip liner. So I got 4 Izumea lip liners, and 2 of them are more warm leaning. So I have to remember to use like a more warm leaning tone when I do a more warm leaning eye look. I want to put on a lip primer. And then we'll wrap this up. So I'm not keeping y'all here forever. Let me wipe down. I had a little bit of like a SPF chapstick on when I walked my dog. So y'all see this? This is what I mean about the ring of death. Yuck. That's just like an accumulation of the chapstick I had on before. Sorry for that. I know it's gross. But that's why I like a lip primer, because it helps avoid that. It happens if you like start to talk a lot throughout the day. Are the bristles softer than the Hakuhodo G series? Yes, they are. Because, yes, they are. Would you agree, Keisha? Because it doesn't have the go in them. They're more airy and like springy feeling than the G series. It's different. Yeah. The G series springs back quicker because of that goat hair. It's like more elastic. I'm sorry if I misspoke and confused that, but that's kind of what I meant. So these are like slower to, the pine squirrel is slower to spring back. You see that? It like fluffs out more too. Thank you for asking. Yeah, Keisha agrees. And the bristles feel more like textured than regular like squirrel bristles. Not like regular squirrel bristles, but like non, you know, like the blue squirrel here that we have. They just feel more textured. The blue squirrel feels more sleek. Almost like it has like a coating on it. Yeah, it's true. Okay. I'm just gonna grab my Bisyodo lip brush, and then probably just do like a cute little lip gloss and call it. This lipstick might go with this. This is like the Dior. It was like a limited edition packaging, the Rouge Dior 284. I just don't wear it that much because it's like quite warm, but look at the bullet. Look at how pretty. I just feel like it's a little bit warm for the usual looks I go with. But when I do a warm look, if you have deeper skin than me, this would be like a good nude on you probably. But I like to do like a little bit of like a lighter shade on the inside to give it more dimension. And that's where I usually go in with like my Gucci Linda Beige shade, or like if you have Charlotte Tilbury's Kim KW, put like a little bit in the center. If you feel like your lippy is too warm, or you want to just give it a little bit of dimension, and then just kind of blend out the edges like this. And then I just like to top it off with the gloss. This is the YSL lip gloss in 3. It's like a warmer pinky shade. Thank you, Brittany. I appreciate the compliment. Right? The Dior embossing. It's like literally the reason I bought that lipstick. Because I'm a sucker for gold. I love gold. And it's not always that like you get like a gold lipstick case with Dior. And then that embossing was just so gorgeous. The shade on this Dior lipstick is 284. There you go, if anybody wants a screenshot. And I just paired it with the shade 3 in the YSL lip gloss, the plumping one. So yeah, if you have deeper skin than me, I think that this would be like a really pretty, like warm tone nude lip. Love the YSL lip gloss too. Yeah, I have 3 of them and I want more. Mental note. Yeah, it would look good on you, Keisha. I already know you would like it. Yeah, I bet those lines were long at Disneyland. It's been forever since I've gone to Disneyland. It's so expensive. All right, and then we'll just do a little bit of brow gel. I'm just gonna grab my Maybelline one that I have right here. Oh, you just ordered the shade 200 yesterday in the Dior lipsticks. I might have that one. What's that shade called again? Dior has great lipsticks in general. You really can't go wrong. I'm sure it's gorge. I switch up my brow products. Y'all already know. I'm not loyal. My brows ain't loyal. Like Kat says. And then that's pretty much it. Did I put a little bit of highlighter on my brow bone? Do y'all still do that? Or is that just the millennial in me? I never stopped putting highlighter on my brow bone. Y'all remember when we were taught to do makeup like that? I learned from like Jaclyn Hill, and she would always put like a light color right here and then a light color on the inner. A little bit on the nose. You get 20% off a seasonal pass during Pixar Fest, making it around $125 a person to get a pass. That's not bad. For a yearly pass, it's almost like sounds good, too good to be true. Nude touch, which is described as a warm beige. Okay. Ooh, sounds pretty. Stacy says the look came out beautiful. Beautiful. Have a good rest of your weekend. Of course, Stacy, my pleasure. Thank you so much. So that's gonna be the look, y'all. Final touch is just gonna be this Tom Ford Vanilla Fatale perfume, which heads up, I picked up during the Sephora sale. It was $105 off. I think it's the 50 milliliter size, it's just the 0.17 is I think $405, and right now it's on sale on the Sephora site for $300. I'm a vanilla girly. This is like a smoky vanilla, so I blind bought it and I'm not disappointed. Been loving it, and I probably shouldn't have done that because I'm still healing, but surprisingly that didn't hurt. What I have noticed is that like my skin is almost like a little bit more accustomed to the process, maybe because I was expecting to like not heal as quickly after the first procedure, since on this time and the last time I combined it with microneedling. But even the the girl was like, yeah, sometimes your skin is just kind of like almost like anticipating it, or like has built like an immunity. I don't know. But yeah, healing pretty well so far. And that's going to be the look, y'all. Tobacco Vanilla. I've been eyeing that one. I want that one too. Now you're going to make me want it. I'm just as susceptible, y'all, to being influenced by you than you are by me. So don't get it twisted. Y'all make me buy stuff all the time. Thank you, Brittany. Oh yeah, get those college discounts while you're still in school. So that's going to be the look, y'all. What do you think? Cute little natural makeup look. I have barely any foundation on, so you can still kind of see like the melasma peeking through and like my freckles, but it's all I need for Jesus. You've been wearing it for years and I should try it. Okay. Duly noted. I'm making a mental note. I didn't even bother with eyeliner or anything, y'all, because I'm wearing like more voluminous eyelashes than I normally wear. These are the Lashify E2. So if anybody's interested, y'all already know I have tons of Lashify content up as to how I do my eyelashes at home. Keisha agrees. She likes Tobacco Vanilla too. Oh, she says the version of Vanilla Fatale isn't as good as the original. So Tobacco Vanilla is even better? Wow. Yeah, I'm going to need all of the vanillas because I love vanilla perfume. And especially when they are like musky and have some like oud, like, ugh, love it. Give it all to me. I have Vanilla Sex. I really enjoy it. Okay. You bought the travel size of Tobacco Vanilla last week. I just got this because it was on sale. It was like the only one that I saw that was on sale. Maybe others were, but they might have been sold out. Thank you, Susan. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you watching. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if any of y'all pick up any of these brushes. That's a wrap for now. I hope to see you all next week during next Sunday's live. No, actually, I'm going to be in Long Beach next week. I'm going to actually go to Cali Roots for the Reggae Fest in Long Beach. So I actually won't be here during my usual Sunday live at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then the week after that, if it's Father's Day, I won't be here for Father's Day either. Unless Father's Day is the fall. No, yeah, I think the following weekend is Father's Day. So this is goodbye for now, since the next couple of Sundays, I don't think we're going to be doing Cali Vibes. Sorry, I always get those confused because they do two different festivals. One is Cali Roots and the other is Cali Vibes. So this is Cali Vibes, yeah. Ooh, Keisha, that sounds amazing. Yeah, I've never heard of that fragrance. Okay, bye, Hibiscus Dandelion. Thank you for watching. I'll still be around and posting content. Lots of Hakuhodo content and everything coming up. I'm going to be posting a bunch of shorts and stuff like that. So stay tuned. Love you all. Happy Sunday. Bye. Yeah, maybe I'll do it on a different day next week. I'll let you